Ooh, the Apple Watch Ultra. It's big, it's bad, it's just what I need for my very rugged and intense trips to the grocery store. So what comes in the box and is it any good? Let's find out. First off, I would like to thank nobody. Nobody provided this to me. I purchased it myself. UPS literally just dropped it off and I raced down here because I got to share this experience with you. This Apple Watch box is the nicest Apple Watch box I've ever seen. Is it nicer than the Hermes box that I got for that stupidly expensive AirTag? Whew, okay, AirTag's Hermes, Apple Watch Ultra. All right, they're actually made of the same material, which is pretty cool. That the packaging for the Apple Watch Ultra is, you know, up there with the Hermes stuff, but this is dumb. Okay, let's crack it open. I got the Apple Watch Ultra, the titanium case, and the orange Alpine Loop, because I'm going to be climbing some mountains when I got to go pick up my fizzy water from the grocery store. Open. We're not going to tear it this time, because I tore the Series 8 unboxing, and I got made fun of for it. Boom. Okay, that looks so cool. I know they did make this for more extreme things, and it's very nice to see we got some mountains in here. Now, a little bit of history about me is I spent 3 years living in the Pacific Northwest, and I got really big into mountaineering, and I would have loved to have had one of these at the time. In the package, you get kind of like an overview of the watch itself. So we've got the Alpine, what I have, Ocean for diving, Trail for extreme running, takes you through the instructions and charging. That's pretty cool. Tells you what all the buttons do, which is important because there are some new buttons on this version. And I really like that the pictures are all of what I got. So it matches the same colors and everything, which is a nice touch. Shows me all the Alpine configuration, which I will set it to. And okay, here's all the paperwork, which is not too much. This is fancy. This is where your money went. When you spent all that money on the Apple Watch Ultra, this is where it all went. So we got the warranty information there. Okay, let's get to the Alpine Loop strap itself. Okay, this gives you instructions on how to install it, which you might scoff at, but I mess it up literally every time we do an Apple Watch, so probably meant just for people like me. That is a that is a nice material that they made this out of. It's got kind of like a carabiner here, kind of like a D-loop carabiner for the wrist strap itself. When we wrap it around our hand, we'll check it out. You actually hook it into these little loops here, which I think is nice. This really, I mean, it's super light. This feels so nice. That feels good. That's a good sign for the rest of this experience. Okay, nothing else came with the strap. So let's get to the big show. I love that. Hold on, you gotta hear this. That sounds so good. The packaging team for Apple Watches and iPhones, you all have the opening experience just down pat. Here we go. That is some thick paper stock. Okay, let's move this out of the way. We have in here the charger. That was fancy opening. Designed by Apple in California at this latitude and longitude. We got the charger. Still, even with the fancy one, we get no charging brick. But we do get a very nice braided cable with the Apple Watch Ultra. That is nice. It's not the standard like plasticky cable you get with an Apple Watch. This is much higher quality. I like Apple's doing like, it may not get all the big news of like the fancy refresh speeds or all the cool watch features, but their cables that they've been including in their stuff, starting with with the iMac, the M1 iMac, has been next level good. But here is the main attraction, the Apple Watch Ultra itself. This is a chonky watch, but it looks, holy crap, does that just look, I mean, it looks nice. It looks amazing. Like it's really hard to say that it does not look fantastic. The wheel feels great. The buttons all feel very good. You got 3 buttons this time around, which is so nice. We got all the fancy sensors. Man, it is hefty. It is hefty, but it looks high quality. Something that I haven't seen talk about is it does kind of look like a standard, now stick with me here, it does kind of look like a standard Apple Watch. And I know you're saying, but Gary, it's got flat edges. But it's like a standard Apple Watch that they glued a flat edge on top of. You can see there's like a gasket right along the edge here with the glass for the display on top of it, which would lead me to believe that maybe if you were to break this screen, you could replace it because it is an extreme kind of a watch. I'm struggling for words a little bit because of just like how darn nice this thing looks. This is what I'm most worried about is I spent a lot of my life, particularly in my mountaineering days, wearing very big watches. And I'm not the biggest fan of big watches anymore. I like having smaller watches, which is why I always get the smaller version of the Apple Watch. Okay, we got it on, and it is fairly chonky. There is some wrist limitations on here, and that's just a gigantic watch. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's not gigantic when you consider like other kinds of big watches, but when you think of the small Apple Watch that I normally have, that is very big. That's almost so big. Normally when I have big watches on, I wear them like this with the face down because I hate having limited movement of my wrist. So that feels much better. I'm just not sure if we'll get the same sensor functionality out of it if I'm gonna wear it this way. But when I'm running, I like having my watch like this because it's easier to bring your arm up like this than it is to always bring it out like that. So maybe we'll be wearing this in a fancy new way, which is the old way that I wear watches. Okay, let's turn it on and see what we got. Apple. I will never ever get sick of that. Oh, yep. One of the best parts about Apple Watches is you can't just set it up by itself. You have to have your iPhone with it. I'm kidding. I actually hate that. I hate that you have to have an iPhone to set up an Apple Watch. It is nice how easy it is to set it all up, but I really wish you could do this with an iPad or a Mac and that you didn't have to have an iPhone to get the Apple Watch working. Okay, connecting my Apple Watch. This might take a moment. The screen does look really nice. It is a much bigger screen. I don't know, it feels like a futuristic, just like computer I'm wearing on my wrist as opposed to a watch. I'm sure that is good for some folks. We'll have to see how this works out for me. I have very rarely had problems with Apple hardware. I have had a lot of problems with Apple software in the past. I'm not yet sure that this is designed for somebody like me. Again, I like small watches. I do feel kind of constrained with this watch. Okay, real quick as it's finishing setting up. This is my Apple Watch Series 8. This is the Apple Watch Ultra. There is a substantial difference in size between these two. And so this is the smaller, the 41 millimeter. I love how this fits on my wrist. Boom, optimized charge limit. This is all of my information. Continue. Cellular setup, let's set it up. Action button, let's set what it does. Workout, stopwatch, waypoint, backtrack, dive, flashlight. I will probably do workout because one of the things that I don't like about the regular Apple Watch is you have to click the main screen, then you have to open up the workout, then you have to tap on the workout. If I can get that to go faster, I'm okay with that. Yeah, sure, let's open up depth when submerged. I will not be doing that. Diving safety, thank you for letting me know about diving safety. That I'll never do. We'll continue with the regular app view, and now it is syncing. What is it syncing about? That's a joke from an old commercial about submarines. Get it syncing? It's a dive watch syncing. Welcome to Everyday Dad. We make a lot of dad jokes around here. I don't know. I think we're going to have to take some real time to come to terms with the Apple Watch Ultra and whether this is something that I will personally use. There will definitely not be a general recommendation from me about the Apple Watch Ultra. It's too big, it's too expensive, it's too niche for me to just recommend to everybody, but that doesn't mean it's bad, and I'm excited to see could it end up working for me. And if you've spent any time here on the channel, you know that all of this is just my opinions on the tech and things that I like about it, which is where we will go with the Apple Watch Ultra. And here's my sweet watch hand. I went running with the Series 8 already today. We will then have to take the Apple Watch Ultra out for its first run tomorrow. Okay, welcome to Apple Watch. Well, thank you, Apple. Man, that screen is beautiful, though. That is a pretty aggressive bezel, though. If you look at the two watches, I mean, yes, they're the identical, like, watch face, but because the screen on the regular watch curves, the bezel doesn't feel that aggressive. That is an aggressive feeling bezel right there. So this is my watch. There's me on my Apple Watch Ultra, but that's like so big. It's no longer, it feels like a joke on the smaller Apple Watches. On the regular Apple Watches, that just feels like a regular picture. Like that doesn't feel like a joke anymore. That feels, it's kind of sad that that's so big like that. So let's go back over to my normal watch face. Okay, you can change what the action button does. The siren you hold to turn on. Okay, what's that? Okay, so the siren's loud, and there are times when you're out by yourself where you fall or you trip or you get lost. You don't want to like yell because that will ruin your voice. So it's always nice to have an emergency whistle, and a siren's nice, but that's not loud enough to be like an emergency siren. So I do kind of think that that's not as useful as I would have hoped. But let's check out for the app. Okay, action workout, app workout. Okay, let's start a workout, and I always do outdoor run. Start workout. Excellent. Okay, I really like that. For me personally, that might be the use case right off the bat. I love that. Like I said, I hate having to take like 5 button presses to get to what I want, and I can now just press one action button and be good. I am very happy about that. Okay, we can set up how we want to do the depth. I'm not going to be doing anything with depth. I thought there might be some like extra tracking stuff on here. Okay, so the button feels really good. You can obviously, like normal, you can zoom out, you can zoom in. You do have a ton more screen real estate, and that screen moves very smoothly. So initial impressions of the Apple Watch Ultra, it is a very big, chunky watch. That should come as no surprise, but we'll just have to figure out over the coming weeks whether I can get over the chunkiness and really find the usability for a regular person to go out and maybe consider an Apple Watch Ultra. But what about you? What would you like to see about this tough, rugged watch that I will be using to go to the grocery store? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video and you're curious about the Apple Watch Series 8, click here to see the unboxing video. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.